Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
You know those times when you get invited to a party as a guest?
I literally sat right across from Steven Tyler and I just asked him every question I could ever imagine about everything.
We're walking with Michael Jackson.
And you have no idea what you're in for.
I was not thinking about, doing the funky cold Medina with Home Loop.
This is a podcast about just that.
They're going to arrest us for being on mushrooms at a wizard park. We're in trouble.
This is Plus One Stories.
We're back with another episode of Plus One Stories. What's going on? My name's Chris Donovan, the host. I love doing the show, so do me a favor. Can you share it with a friend? Spread the word a little bit about the show because I really love doing it, lining up these people, friends that I've known for a while, to tell stories about some crazy times in Hollywood or wherever they might have been if they are touring comedians, like the next guy that I'm talking to. Now, this man is a twin. He's one part of the Smash Brothers, Cory and Chad. Now, this is Cory. Cory's joining me because Chad has a life. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I've known Cory for a long time through comedy and through one of our mutual friends, Ralphie May. Now, he used to tour with Ralphie May, him and his brother, the Smash Brothers. Cory and Chad toured with Ralphie May, and they've got stories. From the tour bus bathroom exploding to meeting Tom Cruise and telling him Top Gun sucks. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening in this episode, so sit back and enjoy this really crazy conversation I have with Cory Smash of the Smash Brothers here on Plus One Stories. Cory Smash.
Yes.
What is up, man? How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. How you been?
Good, man. Life's back to normal almost. COVID's a thing, kind of, over there. But that's about it. It's just living life, taking my daughter to dance just like you. Because
exactly. Yeah, dance and painting nails, braiding hair. I do it all, man.
Everybody heard the intro about you. You've been on tour with Ralphie May a lot of times, a friend of ours, rest in peace, Ralphie.
Definitely.
And I know I've heard, but I know there's some stories that I haven't heard of you and Ralphie and your brother on tour. So let's just, take it away. Tell me what let's start with the one you told me a few minutes ago about something about TSA.
Yeah. So we were going through the Detroit airport. We were actually heading to film the Filthy Animals special for Amazon and Netflix and Hulu, all that good stuff. And we were in Detroit. We just got back from Canada and Ralph's like, hey, baby, my back's aching. He's like, you mind carrying my backpack? I'm like, yeah, man, sure. And he's like, all right, great. I carry his backpack and it's his carry-on basically. And it was kind of heavy. And we get through TSA. And as you know, and this is pre-COVID, so it was still pretty strict. I mean, going through there, get through there. They ask, hey, whose backpack is this? I'm like, well, it's mine, like, okay, they scan it. No problem. Get through TSA. We get on the plane. I put it in the overhead. We're laughing, having a good time on the flight. And we land from Detroit to Portland, Oregon. And as soon as we get inside the Uber XL, he goes, hey, baby cakes, why don't you hand me that backpack? I go, yeah, no problem. He goes, I want to show you what you've been toting around all day. I go, toting around all day? And he unzips it and pulls out a 1/4 pound of weed out of this backpack.
And it wasn't legal yet, so we'll make that very clear.
No, far from legal. Crossing state lines.
Did he cross from Ontario to Detroit with it?
Yeah, so that's what he did. So he crossed from Canada. He got it in Canada somehow, somehow. I don't know how he got it, but he got it from Canada. We landed in Detroit. We were there for one night. And he goes,
Wow.
Yeah, he just told me to carry it, and we get there, and I'm like, at that point, I'm like, man, you better light one up, man. I could have went to prison for this, you know?
Yeah, you need to roll half that into one giant.
Yeah. And he's all, don't worry about it, baby. You wouldn't have went to jail. I go, well, what if I did? He's all, I would have got you out. The famous last words.
Yeah,
I
right.
would have got you out. It's like
a couple
man,
weeks later.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I'm a dad. He goes, I'm a dad. You know, he's I'm more. He goes, I'm more famous than you. I go, I know. That's why you should.
You can afford it.
Yeah. I go, I'm a thousandaire, not a millionaire.
Right.
You know what the heck?
So what? Okay, first off, baby cakes. Like, what are these are all the names he would call you?
Yeah, he would call us baby cakes, titty baby, sugar plum. Yeah, like if you didn't agree with his plan, he would call you a titty baby. He'd be like, "Oh, come on, titty baby. What's wrong, baby cakes?" Or he'd call you sugar plum. He's from the South, so like all those endearing terms, sugar, sweetie plum. I mean, he would just make up, and then ones that he would just
put two words together. Come here, booger nut. Come here, booger nut. Get over here.
And he would always add an S to everything, like sugar plums, or everything was plural, to him.
Yeah, just like his friends, you and your brother.
Exactly. But there was lots of stories, man. This guy was epic. I mean, one time we were on the tour bus, brother, and there was a rule, no crapping on the bus, which we abided by. It's a tour bus is an overglorified trailer. The septic tank sits underneath the
entire
bathroom. Yeah. And so he was always saying, no crapping on the bus, no crapping on the bus. And we're like, yeah, of course, you got to save it for truck stops or the hotel or the club. And we're on the bus and he's in the shower, or the shower's on. And we're like, oh, good, Ralph's up. We're going to be there soon. All of a sudden, this god awful odor comes out. And we're like, oh, and I yell to the back. I go, Ralph, there's no crapping on the bus. He goes, it's my bus, baby. It's my bus.
It's my goddamn bus.
Yeah, he's all, my face is on the outside. Is your face on the outside? And I'm like, no, asshole, my face ain't on the outside. And right then he's laughing, and you hear a crack, boom, bang, and the toilet shatters. It's a fiberglass toilet, shatters. And he's like, help me. Cory, corn dog, Chad, somebody help me. And we open up the door, and their air doors like Star Trek. You hit the button, it's like, psh, and it opens up.
Oh,
Ralphie's laying up against the side, laughing his ass off, completely naked, buck naked, 500-pound man, buck naked. There's shit all over everywhere. He's sitting on just the toilet seat. He goes, help me. He's I'm going to get hurt. And I'm like, we try to pull him up, and lifting a 500-pound man is not flipping easy.
In a small area too.
Yeah, you're talking, like an airport. Tiny room, 3x5.
You're in a stall, basically.
Oh, brother, we lift him up. It takes me, my brother, and the driver. The driver pulls over. We get Ralph up. And then, his little ding dong's hanging out. We're laughing because it stinks like crap. We can see his ding dong. He's not ashamed at all. He's just looking at us, and he goes, hey, man. He's all, he goes, y'all seen a penis before? I'm like, yeah, Jesus, not that small. We're just clowning him. Well, the poor bus driver had to fix this flipping toilet, and he literally had to use a ladle out of the kitchen and literally scoop the crap out. Ralphie ended up tipping this guy $1,500 because he had to rebuild the toilet. The floor was cracked. He had to scoop up the crap. And that story went down in infamy until Ralphie passed. We always joked with him that he almost died, like, Elvis on the
shitter.
Toilet.
Yeah. That's hilarious. It's like a really horrible multiverse version of the Lethal Weapon 2 scene where he's on there and it explodes.
Yeah. And it was just fiberglass. So when the driver put in a new one, I remember we went to Home Depot, like in Kansas, or I don't know where the heck we were. And we ended up getting a porcelain toilet, and he literally used the Sawzall, cut out the floor, put in plywood, put in a real toilet, and not the, like a trailer fiberglass hunk of junk. But man,
he enforced it and everything, huh?
Well, he had to. Ralphie shattered the whole from him rocking on it and laughing, and he would hit the wall, laughing and shit. And he literally fractured the floor. And it was just like a wax O-ring and a plastic pipe. Those buses and trailers aren't that sturdy,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So Man, bro, we were flipping dying. So that night, he's like, and don't y'all talk about this on stage. The first thing we did is started talking about it on stage. We're like, yeah, Ralphie broke the shitter on the tour bus, you know.
If you wanted to come to our show, just follow the smell because it's just coming out of the bus.
Yeah. And then, you know, crapping on the bus, it's called a trucker bomb. If you do have to go, you put a trash bag inside. This is tour bus etiquette. You have to put a trash bag inside the toilet, do your business, and then you could tie the trash bag up and all your business is in the trash bag. And it's called a trucker bomb or whatever. So
and you probably end up throwing that out the window, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah. I didn't want to promote that part, but yeah, we would open up the door and just chuck it out on the interstate in the middle of Texas somewhere or whatever. But yeah, God forbid. I mean, you know, the way to do it's when you're at truck stops, more tour etiquette, you pay for a shower at the truck stop. And then when you pay for a shower, they clean it right before you go in there. You get a toilet, a shower, even if you don't use the shower, but you get a private bathroom that was cleaned right before you got to use it. So
nice.
That's tour 101.
Okay, write that down, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Who you've met a lot of famous people. You've been on tour a lot with Ralphie and other people. Your brother. Who is there anybody that you've met that's famous that you were like, oh my God, I'm gonna meet this person, man. This is fucking dope.
Yeah. Well, when we met Tom Cruise, we were with Ralph. We met Tom Cruise, and he was the littlest. Tom Cruise was the littlest man. I mean, we were so let down. Even Ralph was let down. He comes walking out and they kept telling us, hey, don't make eye contact. All these flipping rules.
Yeah, I heard
we
that.
were at this place. And they were filming one of the Mission Impossibles or something next door to the theater we were performing at. And I think it was Milwaukee. And they're like, don't make eye contact. I mean, all these flipping rules, tons of rules. And he comes out and this guy's like 5'6", 7 max. And he's just this little man. He looked like a horse jockey. And he's like, and he knew Ralphie. And he's like, hey, Ralph, I'm a big fan. And Ralph's all, I'm a big fan of all your movies, but Top Gun sucked.
Ralphie's no homo, but I love it.
Straight told him to his face that Top Gun sucked, man. It was the best.
Who? Tom Cruise? Anybody else?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, when we got to open for Charlie Murphy, my brother and I mean, we weren't as nervous with Ralphie working with him or Carlos Mencia, but for some reason, when we got booked to tour with Charlie Murphy, we were so nervous. I mean, he's a Murphy. Yeah. He's the other brother. He's not Eddie, but man, we were so flipping nervous, and he couldn't have been the nicest. I mean, he was the sweetest man ever. And we come in the green room and he's all, okay, you're twins, right? We're like, yeah, all white people look alike, and he starts laughing. He's like, okay, do you guys know how to roll joints? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, you're on the tour. Welcome aboard.
That was a stipulation.
That was a stipulation. I go, how much time do you want to do? He goes, whatever you want. As long as you can roll joints, I don't give a shit.
That's hilarious, because every time he came into the studio, morning radio, he did have a little bit of a smell.
Oh, yeah. And he had the brightest white teeth. I even told him, I go, Jesus, you have the brightest white teeth. You almost don't want to smile in front of him, because his teeth were immaculate, If
he's trying to hide it, he wouldn't want to smile, right?
Yeah. But there's a lot of comics, but Charlie Murphy sticks out, but Tom Cruise and I can't think of it. Anybody
go to your show that came up afterward that was like, I love you guys? That was a similar celebrity.
Well, yeah, there was a couple people from Saturday Night Live. One person who we totally fanned out, Gabriel Iglesias. We were doing Vegas. We were headlining Vegas. And I kept whispering to my brother, hey, that guy looks like Fluffy, in the crowd. And I'm like, why would Fluffy come to our show? And sure enough, Fluffy came to see us, sat in the crowd, and watched our whole set and came up to us afterwards and was like, man, I've heard about you guys. You guys are awesome. And we were so humbled that Fluffy, of all guys, I mean, he could go see anybody, came and watched us do our hour set and gave us, critiqued it. It was all positive, but gave us some taglines and things like that. And he couldn't have been more gracious, he was just the sweetest flipping man.
Well, you both come from the same home club. He did start in Ontario.
Exactly.
So he did start out here because he was, on my wife's morning show a lot. Good friend of ours. And I had Martine on this show talking about some stories with him and Gabe. So that's a good tie-in right there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Martine's doing our April Dirty Show, actually.
Nice. When? April
on 420. Believe it or not, our 16-year anniversary falls on 420 at the Ontario Improv.
Am I in town? I'm going to have to find out because I want to go to that show.
Yeah, I got you covered. Come on in. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you got to take your daughter to dance. But if there's any other person that can come to your mind right now?
Let's see here. I would think that the biggest person that came to our minds when we met Jerry Seinfeld, we totally geeked out. And he thought we were so offensive and like, I don't think he thought we were funny at all, but that's what made it funny. And he just goes, "Hey, I'm just not a fan of blue comics." And I'm like, well, we're not a fan of clean comics because you know what they say about clean comics: the cleaner the comics, the creepier they are. You know, and we all laughed. But Jerry Seinfeld, man, he got to. We met him through Ralph, of course. But yeah, it's always comics. I mean, we've met movie stars; they just don't impress us like comedians do.
Okay, so what movie star have you met that would impress everybody else?
Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Yeah. And god dang was he, he's a handsome son of a gun, boy. Yeah. And he's got great muscles. And I told my brother, I go, look at this handsome son of a bitch. I mean, he just radiated handsomeness. I'm like, god dang. All the girls were. Yeah, me too. I mean, that was told my brother, I go, god damn, we can only hope to be as handsome as this guy.
Well, that's awesome.
But, yeah.
Okay, so you said you're performing 420 at the Ontario Improv, but where else can people can find out your dates and stuff?
Yeah, you could follow us at Cory and Chad, CORY, the letter N, CHAD. Next weekend we're in Vegas at the South Point Casino. Then we're
Dirty show.
Yes, yeah, we're doing it at the South Point, and then we're going to be
pie for me.
I will tell them, and we're going to be in Reno coming up. We're going to be in Lake Tahoe and Texas, and we're just now starting to tour again. The world's opening back up, and we're just now getting back out there. It feels good.
I'm excited. Hope I get to make that 420 show and get to the green room a little early to partake.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Cory. Thank you so much, man. Drive safe taking your daughter to dance because I got to go pick mine up right now.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. Good seeing you, brother.
Yeah, good seeing you too, man. And we'll have you back on because I know there's more stories.
I hope so. Yeah, we'll get Chad next time.
For sure. All right, brother. Talk soon.
Take care.
Bye.
You've survived another story. Thanks for listening, and please let us know what you think about the show by leaving a rating and review. If you have a story or want to connect with Chris, go to thisisfunner.com.